Salutations everyone, this is Raze here, giving you guys my thoughts about the final Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It had some really cool things, and it had some god-awful things that I didn't even expect that they would possibly stoop down to do. And no, I'm not talking about the Piranha Plant. But let's start off with the new characters. Obviously, people are upset about the Piranha Plant. It's not that much of a surprise to me, because of course they were going to add a new Mario character. It's just what they've always done. And since they hadn't done it yet, of course they were going to add something along those lines. And we got, Piranha Plant. You know, it's not Shy Guy, it's not Koopa Troopa, it's not Toad. Obviously not Waluigi or Geno. But, Piranha Plant, it looks like he has the best range of any character with those super huge lunges that he can make, like way better than like Corrin smash attacks or anything like that. And also, he might have a great recovery based off of the amount of distance he was able to do with his, what I assume is his up special to get to the top of that flagpole. But yeah, he can make himself really small and then super long. I don't know. Don't really care. None of the characters really wowed me in any way. Ken was very, very expected. He's the original Echo Fighter. Honestly, he's the original clone in a fighting game. I know they said like Luigi's tech, but that's not a fighting game. Super Mario Bros. Is not a fighting game, and there's plenty of player 2s out there that's just a color palette swap. So Ken, I don't know if Ken is actually the first clone character in a fighting game, but he's the most famous example. When you talk about, if you try to explain to someone what a clone character is, Ken's the example that you go to. So obviously he's got, his Fire Shoryu, and, he's a little bit faster, just like he is in the Street Fighter games. It looks like he might be worse than Ryu just simply because of the fact that his Shoryu might not be as good. And it might just do more damage, but if it's not gonna kill at 50, like Ryu's does in Smash 4, maybe it doesn't in Ultimate, but it doesn't seem like it'll be a stronger kill move than Ryu's. He's got a focus kick instead of a focus punch, otherwise it's exactly the same. He's got different tilts. He might be more combo dependent. Of course, we haven't seen a ton of Ryu in Ultimate, even though he has been playable. We haven't seen a ton of footage of him, but people do speculate that Ryu might be one of the best characters in the game. So I don't think Ken will be better, therefore he'll be worse. And then we have Incineroar. This like with adding a Mario character, they've always added a new Pokemon, right? And after they announced a few characters, it seemed like they weren't going to, but they did. And unfortunately, they didn't go with Decidueye, who would have been really cool. They went for the safe, bipedal Pokemon that punches, right? As they always have, or at least recently. So we have Incineroar. He has a command grab. It looks like you can work in the air too, so he'll have the second ever command grab that works in the air. Some people were saying it's the first, but no, it would be the second because Diddy Kong's also spikes, so it can instant kill. So it doesn't matter where you hit somebody with that command grab, it will work. Obviously, yes, you have to get the timing right to get the most out of that attack, but the bouncy bars thing, or whatever they're called, will appear no matter if you're on the ground or in the air. His neutral special looks a little bit like Zelda's Nehru's Love. Less like, I know it looks like Donkey Kong's up special with just that he's spinning with his fists, but as far as the size and the speed of the animation, it looks more like Zelda's neutral special, although it probably will not be able to reflect. But hey, Rob's side special can reflect, and that's a very similar motion, so who knows? He has a very interesting move. He doesn't have a counter, he has an absorb and choose to when to counter. So it seems like, kind of like counter, he can absorb the knockback of any blow. I don't know if there is going to be a damage modifier on, he takes less damage than if he just got hit by it, or the same amount of damage. But he will take the damage, unlike other counters more similar to, Bat Within. But like a counter, you'll be able to absorb the blow, but then you get to choose how you want to dish it out. Unlike counter, it's hit it and then counter attack. Use your opponent's move against them. This will absorb the move, and I don't know if there's a timer or if it's immediately the next move that you use after using what I assume is the down special. But it's very interesting. Incineroar could be a really good character, or it could just be an okay character. I don't think it'll be a bad character. Definitely very, very interesting mechanics there. So those are our final 3 characters. And yes, we are going to be getting DLC. And from what it seems like, obviously, they said we're getting 5 DLC characters, and they said that we're going to be looking to release all these characters within the year, but they also said they will all be released by or before February 2020. So, all the characters will be out within 2 years. They plan to do it within a year-ish, but at the very least, they'll all be out within 2 years. So, that's pretty cool. So, we'll be getting more DLC characters at a faster clip, or at least a similar clip than what we did in Smash 4. They've obviously decided what those 5 DLC characters are going to be, because of the deconfirmed characters that we have. That we already know every assist trophy, those aren't going to be characters, and every sticker, every spirit. So, Shovel Knight, Shantae, Shadow, Knuckles, Tails, Geno, Black Knight, Lyn, Ribbon Girl. We all know that those are kind of deconfirmed characters because they're either stickers, spirits, or assist trophies. Yes, Nintendo could change their mind and be like, no, we're changing our mind. This character that was an assist trophy is now a character. Or this character that was just a spirit is now a character. But it doesn't seem that way. Since they already know they're doing 5, they already know who they're going to be. So we're going to have to take a look at that list of who's a spirit and who's an assist trophy, and try to figure out what characters are not included in that might be possible. So it doesn't look like we're ever going to be getting a Sonic character unless they do Amy, because no Shadow, no Knuckles, no Tails. That sucks. People are always going to be screaming for Geno, which is always weird because he's an obscure character from an obscure Mario game that basically nobody played because it didn't sell at all. So I don't know why that character has such a big following. He's one obscure character from one obscure game that nobody played and isn't super popular, but for some reason, it's a meme in Smash, much like Waluigi. And people will just have to stick with Mii Fighter costumes. Who knows? Obviously, they did announce some Mii Fighter costumes, including the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character as a Mii Fighter costume, because they couldn't add it because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was announced before they had decided on what their roster was going to be. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the timetable of development was for Super Smash Ultimate. And obviously, if there's any idiots out there that still think this is a port of Smash 4, I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, nothing can change your mind, even though that nothing supports your opinion. And it never will. Online has a lot of changes, some good and some god-awful changes. So spectator mode, that's kind of cool. There's a waiting line, but we don't know how it's going to work. Is this going to, stop people from needing a list for their Twitch streams and just just be in line and that's how we'll work it out? But is it does the winner move on to the next person in line, or does the lobby owner just keep on fighting whomever is in line? And it didn't really seem like they had all the details on that. And if the lobby owner isn't always moving on, then kind of what's the point? Otherwise, it should just be a lobby that anyone can join instead of somebody controlling what the rules and stuff are. So that's interesting. That's really cool if that allows us to use it the way that we would at, a Twitch stream, as someone streams myself, to just be able to open up a lobby, always have my rule set working, which would be great, which is something you can't do against randoms, which is something we'll get into in a minute. But not being able to worry about, first come, first serve, or having people in a line or in a thing on Discord or whatever, it's handled through the in-game client. So that would be really cool if spectator mode works the way that we want it to work, because it seems like it's capable of doing so. For Glory has been eliminated. The for Glory and for Fun have been trashed, and the idea of For Glory has been scrubbed from the game. So we won't be able to play the game that is what I feel is the proper way to play the game, right? I know I'm in the minority that I want to play on tournament legal stages with no items on. That's the way I like to play. That's the way the pros play the game. That's the way the pros stream the game. That's how a lot of people like to play the game. But I do realize I'm on the minority in that. I get that, but I will not apologize for wanting to play the game the competitive way. in the fact that you would want to have tournament legal stages only, whatever those stages may be. Obviously Battlefield, obviously Final Destination, and returning ones like Smashville and Town City and stuff. And obviously we'll be able to turn off transformations and hazards, and that's cool. And hopefully we'll figure that whole thing out when that comes out. But the fact that it's random, you get to choose, do I want to do 1v1, 2-for-2 free-for-alls? And, you make your own rules on your own timer, your own stocks or coins or time or items and what kind of items. And it's random whose rule set gets picked. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. I don't know why they took away the most fun, most proper way to play the game. And I will not apologize for saying that's the proper way to play the game. Yes, when I was a kid, I liked playing with items on all the stages. Sure. But this is the way that I play the game. The way that you'll see at EVO, the way that you see all the pros play. That's the way I like to play the game. That's easily the way that the game is the most fair and the most balanced. And that's been taken away from us as far as fighting random people. So it seems like creating your own lobby is now going to be the only way to guarantee that you play the game proper. Because if I go online and I try to play, 6 minutes, 3 stocks each, I have a 50% chance of that happening. Otherwise, I'm playing with all items on poke floats, And that's not what I want. So that is insanely disappointing. Also, another disappointment, but not something that I expected to change or happen, is that you cannot do online team battles. Only if you're using the same console can you do a 2v2. So I can't play with a friend in a team online to play against other people in teams online. So that's unfortunate. Spirit mode, that's really cool. We already knew it was called Spirit mode because somebody was able to figure out the mosaic and then translate it from Japanese to English, Spirits mode, and that is exactly what it is. I think it's a really, really cool idea. You have so much to do, so much to unlock, and it kind of has the best of all of the things that we've seen from the single player side of things. It's like trophies, but better, because the team didn't have to develop and create those trophies, which was super time and resource intensive, right? So they don't have to, it's just a JPEG. They just throw out a JPEG that's already been created, whether it's Micaiah or Shantae or Dragonite, whatever it is, they just throw JPEGs out there. That's all they need. They don't need to create anything new, but they're still collectible and you can power them up. So it's like a pseudo JRPG kind of element to it. It's the same as challenges or events from previous Smash games, but they're kind of cooler. And the fact that you have a little bit more control over it might be a little bit easier because of these spirits powers that you're going to be able to take advantage of. And they're going to kind of do a workaround on how they can create different kinds of fights as opposed to before, where yes, they could do some similar things, but this is kind of a cute little fun, unique, creative way to have us quote unquote fight other characters that are otherwise not in the game via this whole spirits thing. I think it's really creative, really unique, and really cool. And you don't need to play it to like unlock things. It's there, and there's a lot to do, and in limited different ways to do it. That's really cool. And one of the coolest thing is Kirby is the chosen one. He is canonically Nintendo's best character. They put it all on the floor. He's the best. He is the chosen one. He's the one that's going to save everybody else. That's super cool. He paid his taxes. He's Sakurai's baby. People have been saying this is Sakurai's way of showing that, because he worked on the Kirby games, for those of you who don't know. Then he got sick of developing sequels, and he developed Super Smash Bros. For 64. Obviously it was, like a polygonal fighter that then they got the rights and permission to use Nintendo fighters to lay over. And it started a super successful franchise from that, but it wouldn't have happened for Sakurai if it weren't for Kirby. So Kirby's perfect, he's super powerful, and he's the hero that we need. He's the hero that we deserve, and that's been acknowledged by this game itself. It's so cool that for 20 years, this whole Super Smash Bros. Series was just a sham. It was all a disguise for a new Kirby game. And I'm kidding, obviously, but that's super cool. Kirby's my boy. He's the chosen one, and he's going to save us all. He's the best boy. Also, we had to see some more footage from other things. If you looked at like Treehouse stuff and things like that, like Yoshi's Final Smash is a throwback to his Melee intro, and it's also how Mufasa died. It looks like King K. Rool's like up special is planking, and other odd things like that. So yeah, really sucks about For Glory being killed off in favor of a roulette wheel of rule sets. That sucks. Spectator mode might be really cool. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that they focused a lot of time on that don't really matter. But yeah, Piranha Plant, Incineroar, Ken, whatever. None of the added characters have blown me away, but hey, we have 5 of the DLC characters to go through. We have no idea who they're gonna be and how long to wait. Obviously, Piranha Plant's kind of like Mewtwo. It was in Smash 4. They say that they're working on him, but he won't be able to come out until a time after the game. And obviously, if you pre-order, I think I read that to register before the end of January to get him for free. I don't know how else you're supposed to get him, but he should be available through other means. So yeah, it's no demo. That was super disappointing. But there's global events around the world where you can play all the characters. So hopefully we'll get some really cool sources, really cool people out there to tell us information about characters that we do not know yet. It was nice that they went over Incineroar and Ken over their movesets more so than they did any of the other additional fighters. So that was kind of cool, but there's still a lot to learn and a lot to play and look forward to. So let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.